Do you know it's possible for you to bake your meat pie without an oven? So you don't have any excuse to start that meat pie business. So you want to stick around with me to the end of this video because I'll be sharing some do's and don'ts for you to make your meat pie without an oven. So we all know that carrots from the market are always dirty. So after washing, I'm using this potato scraper to just scrape it out and then prep my vegetables for my meat pie fillings. Okay, after scraping my carrots, next is just to wash my potato, my Irish potato. Yeah, that's what we call it here in Nigeria. So it's just to wash and then scrape it out, and yeah, so that when I'm cutting my carrots, I'm just going to cut my potatoes together with it, right? So I was using this potato scraper to scrape it, but it was not doing the work. I could not use it anymore because it's not stable, so I decided to just switch over to use the knife. Yeah, so after that, I'm just going to start to cut my carrots. And you guys, if you've not seen how to achieve uniform shape when cutting your carrots in my fried rice video, just stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to show you guys here and explain it very well for you if you don't have machine and you don't want to use machine. So this is how to do it. Okay, so after you've cut your carrot from the middle, you just need to cut them into smaller sizes. So after you finish cutting them into smaller sizes, just join them together, add them together, and when you are done adding them together, then it will be easy for you to just chop them into smaller cube form. Okay, so we don't have to be seeing those chunky carrots in our meat pie fillings or in fried rice and whatever we are doing. Once you do this pattern, then you can achieve that uniform cube form of carrot. All right, so you're just going to repeat the same process for the second one and for all the carrots you have, and yeah, you are good to go. You are going to achieve that cube shape of your carrots. Okay. So when you are done with doing the carrot like that, it's the same step you are going to take when cutting your potato, right? Your Irish potato. Just do it like that and you're going to achieve that same shape all through. It will not be big in your fillings. Okay, so next is to cut your spring onions, and for these spring onions you want to do it the same way you did for your Irish potato and your carrots. Just add them together like that and then cut it. Just chop them into smaller pieces like that because it's easier. These vegetables, we have to look for easy ways to achieve our aim because they can take our time sometimes when we are cutting. Okay, so after this, I'm just going to go in with my onions now and then chop my onions into smaller pieces because we don't want chunky onions in our meat pie filling. Yeah, so after this now, I'm just going to slice this Scotch bonnet pepper. See, this Scotch bonnet pepper is optional. Okay, it's not compulsory. If you want, if you like, you can add it, but I choose to add it just for the color and just for that little spice. Okay, so yeah. So guys, after cutting your veggies is just to do the next thing, the next proper thing. So that is to fry your meat pie filling. Okay, just to make your meat pie filling, and with a pan in the fire, add your vegetable oil and then go in with your onions and allow to fry for some time. Make sure the oil you are adding is not much, minimal oil. Okay, that will be enough to cook your filling. And after that, just going with your minced meat, and this minced meat I made this at home, and yeah, you can make your minced meat at home. You don't have to buy. So I have a full video on that. You can check that. I'm going to leave the link in the description or leave the end card on the screen for you to go and watch that later. Okay, so after this, you are just going to stir up your minced meat and allow the water to dry up first before you add anything. And when you see this water coming out from your meat, don't be scared that your meat is bad. No, just allow it to dry up. When you're boiling your meat normally, water comes out from it. It has its own juice. So when you see water from your meat coming out like that, just allow it to dry up, and yeah, you can go in with your rest veggies after that. And carrot is the hardest of our vegetables, so we are going in with the carrot first. After you've added the carrot, you're just going to stir up and add your seasoning cubes, your seasonings, any seasoning you like, seasoning of your choice. You can go in with that, and then add the rest of your veggies. For the seasonings, add your curry and give it a proper stir. After adding, next you want to add your thyme and also stir. After adding your thyme, just add your seasoning cubes. Okay, so after this, I went in with my salt. You want to add your salt according to your taste bud. All right, I'm not going to tell you the amount of salt for you to add. Just add salt according to your taste, and then give it a proper stir. But whatever you do, make sure you don't add too much salt, otherwise your meat pie will become too salty, and you wouldn't want that. At this point, my filling is already seasoning, so when I add the rest things, it's just going to sit properly and it's going to make them to taste well. So next, I'm going in with my Irish potato, and then I'm going to add my spring onions and my small Scotch bonnet pepper, okay, just for spices and for color. Okay, so after this, I'm going to give it a proper mix and taste it if everything is on point. And at this point, when you are testing, make sure that everything is seasoning properly, and when you see the need to add any of the things you feel is not enough, any of the seasoning that is not enough, then you can add more. So next, you want to add your flour to your meat pie filling. See, you're not going to add it like this, the powder form. No, just take a sieve like this, and then put your flour inside, and take a bowl, put it under, and then sieve out your flour, and then take out the lumpy area, this lumpy part that you sieve on your sieve. Take it out, and then mix your flour with water. So now you're just going to stir it. After adding water to it, just stir it, give it a proper stir, and then add it to your meat pie filling. And now you're going to notice that the texture of your filling is going to change. And after this, just go ahead to add enough water that will cook your filling for just, let's say, few seconds, not too much, because by this time your filling is already cooked, it's already ready. So it's just to add this flour to it to just increase the texture of it. And at this point, our filling is ready, and yeah, we are going to move on to the next step. You guys, you can see that our filling has changed in texture. Me looking at it like this, you can see it. So this is the work of our flour, adding your flour to your meat pie filling. Don't leave it like that, add it, because it's going to elevate the look, and it's going to give you that softness when you are eating your meat pie. Okay, just allow this to cool. Don't cover it, just open it and allow it to cool, and let's go straight to make our dough. For my dough, I'm using 5 cups of this flour. And when you're measuring your dough, make sure that the flour, you don't heap it too much. Don't heap it, not even too much. Don't heap it at all. Just make sure that it's level, so that you can be able to measure it properly. But when you heap it, you will not be able to measure it properly. It will not be correct. Okay, so just make sure you do it like that. And after that, just sieve, like I told you earlier. Remember to sieve. So you guys, after sieving, you can see the lump that came out from this flour after sieving. So imagine I did not sieve. This thing will just be there in my dough looking at me, and I'll be looking at it. So to avoid that, remember to always sieve before you use it. Okay, so now I'm adding 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, then 1 teaspoon of salt, and yeah, The list of the ingredients will be in the description box. So next, you want to stir everything together. Stir it very well so that it will mix properly together. And next, you want to go in with your butter. Add 260 grams of butter to your dough so that the butter will be enough to go round. Okay, you can use your scale to just weigh out your butter you are adding. After adding your butter, it's just for you to mix it properly. At this point, you need to mix very well. If you cannot mix with just one hand, go in with both hands. Mix it properly. You have to use your hands to mix this one. No need for semere here. No need for shakara. Alright, so after that, just open a well at the middle of your dough and pour in your egg and your water. And you guys, adding egg to your dough is optional. You don't have to add it. Alright, so I just did it because I feel it's going to give my meat pie extra taste. Preferably use cold water, okay? But if you don't have cold water, don't beat yourself about it. Just go in with your normal room temperature water. That is what I used here. I purposely used that so that you can see that you can use that to make your meat pie. Okay, so if you don't have refrigerator in your house, you don't have to beat yourself about it, and you don't have to neglect the business you want to do, meat pie business, simply because you don't have your refrigerator. Okay, so there's no room for excuses. So you guys, after mixing, you want to cover your dough with a napkin and then allow it to rest for like an hour 40 minutes. But if you have a refrigerator, it's just for you to wrap with a transparent bag and then put in the freezer or in your fridge so that it will just cool off there just for an hour. Then you can bring it out to work on. It's an hour 40 minutes now, and I'm just going to bring out my dough and work on it. Just put it on a flat surface like this and press it a little just to get that fine texture. Okay, not for too long. You're not making bread, okay? You're making meat pie. So after that, you're just going to cut it into smaller sizes so that it will be easy for you to use your rolling pin to bring out that shape before you apply your fillings and the rest things you need to do on it. Okay, so for your meat pie to cover properly, you would need your egg wash. So let me show you how to make your egg wash. Okay, so bring out a bowl and then bring out just one egg and then poke a small hole. Just use your spoon like this to prick a small hole out and then take out the egg whites. We are not using that egg white. All right, so take out that egg white. Be patient with this process because it takes a little time for you to achieve this. So just be patient. Just take out your egg whites, and after taking out your egg whites, then a tiny drop of yolk might just drop inside, and you will know that okay, all the egg whites are out. Just as I'm doing there now, I'm taking it out. So after that, just take a separate bowl and then pour your egg yolk inside and add 1 teaspoon of water to your egg yolk, and voila, your egg wash is ready. So this will be easy for you to use on your meat pie dough and the filling, for it to close properly and for you to achieve that shininess. All right, and you want to mix it together, the water and the egg yolk, just mix it together like this, and yeah, that is your egg wash. So if you have a meat pie cutter, perfect, it's going to make your life easy. But if you don't have, I'm still going to show you how you are going to do it. So just place your dough on your meat pie cutter like this and then add your egg wash to the surface, just so that your dough will be able to close properly when you are done adding your meat pie filling. Yeah, so when you are done, just add your meat pie filling to it and cover up with the meat pie cutter. Okay, so you want to be careful when doing this so that your meat pie does not fall off, and when you are taking it out, be very careful so that it does not fall off. Try your best not to add too much filling to your dough so that it can cover properly when you are covering it. Okay, so you can see how my meat pie came out so fine with my meat pie cutter. It looks so fine. So I'm going to remove the excess now and then take it out from this cutter. I'm using this pan, but if you don't have a pan like this, you can just go in with your back of your the cover of your pot and then add butter to it like this, or margarine to it like this, and then sprinkle in some flour on it, just the way I did with the pan. It's going to serve the same purpose. So you guys, in the beginning I told you there are some things you need to know when you are baking without an oven, and this is one of it. Don't forget to sprinkle your flour on your pan before you add your meat pie on it, okay? Because this will help to prevent it from getting burnt. Let's move back to our meat pie, and yeah, so it's time for me to just add my egg wash to the surface of my meat pie, and I'm going to put it in the pan now. See, I forgot to use my fork to poke the normal O at the top. Don't forget that, but I later remembered it when I was adding the next one. So yeah, never forget that, because you need to do that so that you allow your meat pie to breathe, okay? So don't forget. And if you don't have your meat pie cutter, this is the other way you can do it. Just get a bowl that has this round surface and then place it at the middle of your dough, and just take a knife and then just draw a circle around it, and yeah, take out the excess, and yeah, you have your normal cuts, okay? So next you can just go in with your egg wash and then add your meat pie filling and cover. So next you want to use your finger to just seal it up like this, and when you are done, use your fork to close it tightly. Yeah, so when you are done with that, just use your fork to put that O at the top, and don't forget to use your egg wash, okay? The egg wash helps to give it that shiny look it has when you are done baking. Alright, so after that is just to add it to the pan and allow your meat pie to bake. So just repeat the same process for all. So everything is ready and it's time for us to bake. So you want to get that big pot you have in your house and then place your stove rack on it and place your pan on it, okay? Just to lift up your pan a little so that it can heat very well. And after that, you want to cover your pot and allow to heat for about an hour 20 minutes, okay? And you want to leave it on low heat. Please don't put it on medium heat because it can get burnt if you leave it on medium heat and you leave it there for like an hour. So this one I did got burnt because it was on medium heat and I was checking it to get to an hour. So make sure you put it on very low heat. So you guys, I did this one on a cover of a pot just to show you guys that you can achieve this. And this one I did not add enough egg wash to it, so I purposely did these ones like this because I want to show you guys the things you need to know when you are baking without an oven, okay? And the other one I overfilled the meat pie, that's why it's like that. It came out, it's just opened on its own because the filling was too much. So yeah, I allowed out this one to eat for an hour 20 minutes on very low heat. That's why it did not get burnt, okay? So you want to do the same. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. I'm Faithuche. Lots of kisses. Mwah.